Welcome to the Mind Forge, your go-to channel for personal growth, life lessons, and motivational content. Today, we're diving into an ancient technique that can help you cut through the chaos of daily distractions and achieve laser-sharp focus. If you're tired of being pulled in every direction by notifications, deadlines, and endless to-do lists, stay tuned. We'll explore the Lotus Method, rooted in Eastern philosophy, to help you transform your scattered thoughts into a calm, focused mindset. Don't miss out on this opportunity to break free from distractions and start changing your life today. Let's begin with part 1. Michel's struggle with resistance. Michel is full of potential, just like you. He dreams big, aiming to get fit, excel in his career, and enhance his personal life. Yet, whenever he tries to take action, something holds him back. It's not a lack of motivation. He watches motivational videos, listens to podcasts, and reads about self-improvement. But when it's time to act, his mind resists, and he finds himself scrolling through his phone instead of working on his goals. Every time he plans to start something important, his brain drags him away. Michel finds himself caught in a cycle of procrastination and self-doubt, opting for comfort over challenge. He knows he's stuck, but breaking free feels impossible. This isn't just Michel's problem. It's a universal struggle. Our minds naturally avoid discomfort, steering us toward distractions like social media, games, or even daydreams when faced with difficult or unfamiliar tasks. Michel feels like he's fighting against himself. Despite consuming loads of motivational content, the inspiration never sticks. He's beginning to see he needs something more substantial than temporary motivation. In Eastern philosophy, the mind is likened to a wild monkey, jumping from one thought to another, avoiding anything uncomfortable. As Buddha pointed out, your worst enemy cannot harm you as much as your own unguarded thoughts. Michel's mind is sabotaging him, pulling him away from his true desires and toward immediate comfort. The ancient monks understood this internal struggle. Ancient monks discovered ways to tame the mind, bringing it focus, clarity, and calmness. What Michel is experiencing is the essence of the human condition. By nature, our mind resists challenges, preferring safety and familiarity. However, Eastern teachings, like those inspiring the Lotus Method, reveal that this resistance isn't something to overcome with brute force. The first step is awareness. The mind resists because it tries to protect us from discomfort, but shifting this dynamic is possible. Awareness is crucial. Once Michel realizes his mind is naturally avoiding discomfort, he can stop being so hard on himself. This is the initial lesson in the Lotus Method, understanding the mind before attempting to change it. Michel's struggle is clear. His mind resists because it's wired that way, but now he understands the first step is not to fight or force change, but to become aware and acknowledge his mind's protective role. Michel learns to observe his protective tendencies without judgment, a fundamental aspect of the Lotus Method. Before changing your thoughts, you must first become aware of them. Awareness is just the beginning. Now that Michel sees his mind for what it is, how does he progress? The next phase of the Lotus Method teaches him to release the grip of resistance and flow with his thoughts, rather than against them. Embracing the flow of life, Michel realizes that his previous methods, forcing himself to work harder and pushing through resistance, aren't effective. He seeks deeper wisdom and discovers the teachings of Lao, the ancient philosopher of Taoism. Lao speaks of Wu Wei, the concept of non-resistance, the art of moving with life rather than fighting it. One of Lao's teachings strikes a chord with Michel. By letting go, everything gets done. Initially confused, Michel reflects and starts to understand that perhaps his struggles stem from resisting too much. Michel starts questioning if tackling challenges requires sheer force. Could there be a way to face obstacles without constant resistance? The Lotus Method, inspired by Eastern philosophy, suggests that the answer might not be in fighting harder, but in ceasing the struggle altogether and finding a natural flow within the effort. Wu Wei teaches a concept that feels counterintuitive today. By going with life's flow rather than resisting it, we can achieve more. It's not about giving up or being passive. It's about moving in harmony with life's natural rhythms. When we push too hard, life pushes back. But when we align with life's current, we progress with less effort. Michel realizes his constant battle to force his mind only leads to more resistance. By embracing this ancient wisdom, he learns it's possible to tackle difficult tasks without fighting them, viewing challenges as part of life's flow. Michel begins applying Wu Wei in his life. Michel learns to approach difficult tasks with ease instead of forcing himself through every challenge. Whether it's a workout, a work project, or a personal issue, he pauses and reminds himself not to resist. He accepts difficulties as part of life's flow, releasing the inner struggle. This shift makes his tasks feel lighter. Where he once battled to get things done, he now feels calm. This is the next step in the Lotus Method, releasing resistance and finding harmony in effort. Now that Michel is going with the flow, he needs to cultivate stillness and reflection to deepen his journey. In Part 3, The Power of Stillness and Reflection, Michel explores ways to quiet his restless mind. He encounters Zen Buddhism and Zazen, or sitting meditation. Initially, it seems simple, but as he tries it, he finds it challenging to sit still while his mind races, being accustomed to constant action. As Michel delves into Zen Master Dogen's teachings, he learns a profound truth. If you can't find it where you are, where else will you seek it? Michel realizes that true strength and clarity come from stillness, not constant motion. Through Zazen, or sitting meditation, he experiences a powerful transformation. His once chaotic mind begins to settle, much like a lake calming after the wind ceases. The more Michel practices stillness, the clearer his mind becomes. In these moments of quiet reflection, he sees his challenges not as insurmountable obstacles, but as opportunities for growth. He understands that his relentless need for action created resistance to difficult tasks. In stillness, he finds a sharpness and clarity he never knew. Instead of rushing, he steps back, practices Zazen, and lets answers emerge. This is the third step in the Lotus Method, embracing stillness. The roots of the lotus flower, buried deep in the mud, provide a strong foundation for growth. Just as the lotus rises through the mud to bloom with purity, Michel understands that his challenges, which often bring stress and anxiety, are like the mud that can nourish his personal growth. By practicing stillness daily, he not only calms his mind but also develops a steady focus. Now, when he faces difficult tasks, his mind is clear, allowing him to move through challenges with calm and deliberate energy. But stillness alone isn't enough. Michel has learned to calm his mind, but now he must channel that calm focus into action. As he continues practicing stillness, his once scattered mind becomes a tool for sharp decision-making. He remembers the Shaolin monks who balanced meditation with physical discipline, believing mental clarity and physical action are deeply connected. Michel realizes meditation has given him this insight. Now, it's time for Michel to turn that reflection into purposeful action. Like the Shaolin monks, who apply their inner calm to martial arts with precision and patience, Michel begins to approach his tasks with the same mindset. Each task, no matter how small, deserves full focus. He realizes he doesn't have to tackle everything at once. Instead, he channels his newfound clarity into one action at a time. The Shaolin monks teach that true mastery is the harmony of mind and body. When the mind is still, the body acts with intention. When the mind is chaotic, the body's actions are disordered. Michel learns that his stillness must translate into focused, intentional action. Meditation without action leads to stagnation, while action without reflection leads to burnout. The key is balance. The monk's wisdom shows him that when both are aligned, he can achieve more than he ever imagined without feeling overwhelmed. The fourth step in the Lotus Method is action with intention, and Michel realizes this is his path to success. True progress doesn't come from juggling 100 tasks at once. It comes from dedicating full attention to one thing at a time. Michel applies this principle to his work, relationships, and personal projects, focusing all his energy and clarity on each task. As a result, the once daunting challenges become manageable, and he tackles them with calm determination. Michel is no longer scattered. He's precise, like a Shaolin monk executing a kata with deliberate, mindful movements. Yet, focus and intention are only part of the equation. The fifth step in the Lotus Method is the art of patience. Michel has been making steady progress, calming his mind through stillness and reflection, and translating that clarity into intentional action. But as time passes, impatience creeps in. Despite his efforts, results aren't appearing as quickly as he'd hoped. Frustration builds, and Michel questions his approach. That's when he recalls the Eastern monk's teachings about the lotus flower, which grows slowly and steadily. The lotus flower pushes its way through the thick mud, taking its time before it blossoms into something beautiful. The monks remind us that the true beauty of the lotus lies in its patience. It never rushes the process, blooming only when it's ready. Michel realizes that he too must practice patience. Progress might be slow, but rushing only creates resistance. By embracing the pace of his journey, he releases his impatience and finds greater peace with his progress. Like the lotus, Michel understands his moment to bloom will arrive, and it will happen at the right time. This art of patience becomes his final lesson in mastering the mind, bringing a newfound calm he has never felt before. So, where are you on your journey? Are you resisting, or are you ready to embrace the Lotus Method? Start with one step, whether it's practicing stillness, applying intentional focus, or learning to be patient with yourself. Your growth will unfold in its own time. If you found this video insightful, hit subscribe, and let's continue this journey of mastering the mind together.